They say time changes everything, but love has its own way of lasting forever. In a peaceful lakeside town in Minnesota, one man discovers that a promise made decades ago can still shape the life he lives today. This is the story of Theodore Harrington, and the legacy of a vow that refused to fade. 82-year-old Theo Harrington sat beside Lake Ansell, holding a faded photograph of his grandfather, Arthur Harrington, standing in that same spot nearly a century ago. As a child, Theo had heard his grandmother, Mildred, speak softly of Arthur. She'd said, "On our wedding night, he promised me, whatever time the world gives us, I'll give you all my days." But life didn't keep that promise. Arthur died in a sudden car accident, leaving Mildred to raise their children alone. She kept his vow in her own quiet way, through endless work, strength, and love that never wavered. Years later, Theo built a life of his own. He married Alara Montrose, a caring ICU nurse, and together they had a daughter, Lyra. But time began to slip away again. Theo's job demanded travel, Alara worked nights, and Lyra often fell asleep waiting for them. Theo loved his family deeply, yet guilt grew in his heart. He could feel the distance widening, just as it once had in his grandmother's stories. On Lyra's 10th birthday, Alara handed Theo a small wooden box. Inside was a silver locket engraved with 3 words, "All my days." Theo froze. That phrase, his grandfather's words, had returned. Inside the box lay a letter written long ago by Mildred. It read, "To my grandson and his family, love is not measured in years, but in the days we give. Pass it forward." Tears filled Theo's eyes as he looked at Lyra, realizing it was his turn to keep the promise alive. That evening, Theo took Lyra to the lake. The sun melted into the horizon as he knelt beside her and said, "Lyra, I can't promise you everything, but I promise you my days, starting now." From that moment, life changed. He turned off his phone, cooked breakfast every morning, and read bedtime stories again. The old promise had found new life, through him, and through love that never ended. The greatest gift we can give our children isn't what we buy, it's the time we share. A promise made in love can outlive a lifetime. If this story touched your heart, take a moment today to reach out to someone you love. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever kept a family promise? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs a reminder that love never truly fades, it only waits to be remembered.